I could have daggers in 100 necks by nightfall.
No doubt, but more necks would present themselves tomorrow.
I have other daggers.
Am I interrupting?
You're a crow, and a deriva. You're expected. Forgive Thea. You know how she gets when a contract is delayed.
You're apologizing for her? Strange days.
On that, we would agree, and perhaps more.
You want help against the gods. We want Treviso free. We now think they may be the same problem. The occupation has a face. The Antam commander, Keith Lord Butcher Dathrata. But Viago thinks killing him outright is short-sighted.
The Butcher took the city suspiciously fast. Removing him is useless if someone else can repeat that, with the help of gods or something else. We all know assassination is not really about killing. It's about sending a message.
And what message would that be?
The crows rule Antiva, and Treviso will be free.
The gods care about taking Treviso?
The Butcher wants Treviso. The gods may just want the Antam.
But Antam distrust magic and outright fear demons. They should be enemies.
Power can turn anyone against their own interests, their own people.
We crows are all the army Antiva has, but it's not like we can field a garrison. Outside support?
The king would say to call on us. The price for being patriots.
Sounds like you think the occupation wasn't just about force.
Cruel as the Butcher is, he didn't break the city with a siege. It was sudden and complete.
Like he had it all mapped. Where to march and what to close off to choke resistance.
He had inside information? Spies?
He had something.
And until we know what it was, killing him isn't the contract.
Butcher Dathrata. What do you know about him?
The Antam army fractured, split among warlords, and he seems to have kept the most traditional discipline. And the rank and file like it. His numbers keep growing, but the Butcher himself is odd.
Odd how?
He gives daily speeches about how the occupation is somehow merciful. And the way he talks, it's familiar. It's like he thinks he belongs here. And I won't have it.
So we send a message from the crows. What's our first step?
We have a scout named Dareth. He said he was onto something the Butcher was hiding.
He was in the Drown district, so that's a place to start. Find our crow and help with his contract.
Help a fellow crow. Then what?
We break this occupation. We craft the message one step at a time.
And when we finally assassinate the person who leashed Treviso, that death will tell everyone. The crows rule Antiva, and Treviso will be free. I've noted the location of Dareth and his cousin, Jacobus, in the Drown district. They're always together. Jacobus will be eager to help. Perhaps too eager for one so young.
Can you blame him? We've all lost too much to this occupation.
Crows love a good zipline.
Milk, eggs, cheese, bread. Milk, eggs, cheese, bread.
Restocking the pantry?
Yep. I repeat the list to myself so I remember.
Is that really all we need?
It's all some people will eat.
A fine evening is it not, my friends?
The market never stops, even during occupation.
So many things you could buy. How do you choose?
Fine decor for the finest homes. The right finishing touches make a home.
Cafe later?
Good night for it.
Must be keen to get away from Anton assholes. Now they're here anyway.
I got a letter from Strife in Ireland.
And how are the Veil Jumpers?
Good. Stressed. Busy.
I just started my carpenter's apprenticeship. Now Uncle and I are on the streets thanks to these Antam.
Well, anyway,
Good. Stressed. Busy. The usual. They found an artifact recently. Small. Strange hum. All it seems to do is repel wisps.
really? Don't suppose they'd let me borrow it.
I can ask.
Targets. The streets are thick with Antam. We can take our pick. We cannot afford an avalanche. The reserves. The drinkers.
Southern chantry buildings have a different feel to them. Not always a welcoming one.
What was there before? Does anyone even remember?
Let's go!
Wow. Even during an occupation, the market is still pretty busy.
Almost feels like home.
If the butcher wants Treviso to thrive,
He needs to let ships sail freely.
Bunch of untimed way to work. Demanded to know who I was and where I was going.
What gives them the right?
There's the place. Keep your eyes open. We may not be the only ones interested.
He was my cousin!
What? We are found! Attack!
Don't worry. And Diago sent us.
You're a crow? Kill them! Kill the Antam! We're under fire! They killed Darren! They killed my cousin! They're weak on the left. Stop them! One for Rook. Finish this.
That's done. Are you Jacobus?
Darren, my cousin. They... Please, you have to finish Darrett's contract. It's about the Butcher. My cousin was going to spy on the Butcher. He told me we'd pick up the contract from a dead drop. But then... someone has to finish this for Darrett. Please.
We will. You should get back to the diamond.
I will, just give me a minute.
We should... That note said Dareth should pick up the contract at the usual place across from Teyan Viago. Just follow the marks. The crow who dropped it off left marks for Dareth to follow.
I spotted something on the walls. Earlier, I mean.
That's a crow marker. Real tricky to throw. That's gotta be Dareth's trail. Keep an eye out. Another mark this way. Here's another crow mark. Our next crow mark. This is where the marks lead. Dareth's contract must be here somewhere. The butcher is making poison. Comic.
I've heard of it. It does things to your mind. Nothing pleasant.
If I were the butcher, it'd be a good way to keep people in line. The Anton brought in a comic master to mix the poison. He's at the garrison. We stop him there before this goes any further.
There's something under the floor, just before the Alluvian room. An artifact of some kind.
What's it do?
I'm not sure. It was responding to the Alluvian in some way. I'd love to learn more, but I need to move it.
Let's not break the mirror.
It probably wouldn't, I don't think. They're unconnected, but connected. But you're right, no. Probably better it stays put. Watch out.
Boss! Over!
Take him out, quick!
On your left. Can't get along.
Hitting us from range. Good work, everyone!
I command you to
we're in. Let's find the comic master.
This place is forbidden!
Out to the crows! Company to the right.
Hitting us from range!
Got through that.
Smell you, an outsider. Time to test my gift. I am will made flesh, so much flesh. Finally, find the butcher tonight has come to me. Prove my worth.
The crows are here to injure threat, poisoner.
Poison. You face the gift of the gods!
We'll ask questions after it's dead.
Ready again.
I'm ready. Let's go.
I think we've just about got it.
Can you tell?
It's done. The Comic Master's dead.
Good. That's good.
First things first. Let's destroy the rest of the poison. Then we figure out what was going on here. That's the last of the poison, thankfully. Let's look for anything else that explains what's happening. Wait, this note says that wasn't all the comic. The Butcher's angry because someone missing.
Who got their hands on it?
No idea, but the note does mention the Butcher's inside trader. The occupation had help. Tay and Viago need to know they were right.
Are you out of your minds? I told you crows to stay out of this!
Out of what? Defending our home?
If we had a stronger civil government instead of a bunch of circus criminals, the Antam wouldn't have a foothold in the first place!
Circuses charge admission. We did all that for free.
This is Governor Evenchi. They have concerns.
My concern is how you've endangered the city.
We're defending Antiva.
These protections are in place for the good of everyone. You act without oversight.
We crows are the oversight.
And yet, here we are, awash in Antam. And now, you've angered the Butcher.
We have other enemies too. The gods are involved, corrupting some Antam, making them monsters.
And the Butcher?
You two were right. He had help taking the city. Human traitors.
I didn't want to believe it. Killing the Butcher does nothing if someone could just sell us out again.
I'd start right here. You Talons are known for infighting and betrayal.
I've had about enough. A fellow crow died for this contract.
That's enough. Rook, thank you for finishing that contract. The only reward we have is to ask you for more.
It's my home too.
Evenchi is right about one thing. The Butcher will not like that we're fighting back.
We need to be ready. Rook, I will have every crow tracking this traitor and the gods, and we will send word when we find something.
The stakes are too high. This should be left to proper officials.
Go back to filing trade receipts, Evenchi. The crows rule Antiva.
And Treviso will be free. With or without you, Governor.